All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cheers to You. I'm here with Phil. What's going on, Phil? How are you?
Doing good, Dane. How you doing?
Not bad. Just got to work a few minutes ago. It's pretty good up till the end. Pretty peachy, but got a little rough.
What do you do?
Security, pretty
That's essential.
basic.
Okay.
Yeah, right now. So hopefully it could go places with that. But everything was all quiet until basically 4:30. Go figure, half hour before I get out.
Oh, okay. So it's just like private security.
It's at a basically like a condo area for a bunch of people. So there's a guard at the gate, and they gotta sign in, see if they're on the list because all this COVID stuff that's going on.
Right, right.
So that's still going. Who knows when that's going to end too? Probably in another month it'll die down with everything's going to be slowly, you know, back to normal.
I hope so. I really do.
But what's going on with you? How was your day?
Pretty good. I'm essential. I got a part-time job at Costco,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, had the day off, so I focused mostly on writing because I'm doing an original series about the FDNY before 9/11.
Okay, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's based on an autobiography called Coming Through the Flames by Chris Edwards.
Okay, nice. So you're a writer?
Actor, really. I'm at like I've been at a point where it was just like I didn't really have enough creative control in the characters I could play, and I kind of felt like in my craft I was, no matter how many lessons I was taking, I was really hitting this plateau, and I wasn't really getting roles that felt challenging. So I decided to just like write my own stuff, and I aim pretty big uh, every single time I write. But now with the 20-year reunion for 9/11 coming up right around the corner, I wanted to do something very important, and I just thought that this would be something that the whole country could get behind and really appreciate, and more so my dad. So he's my dad was a firefighter.
Oh really?
Hmm.
How long?
He was on the job for 27 years before he got uh, forced out.
Okay.
Yeah, he never would have retired. So he had enough injuries to be like, you did your time, appreciate everything you did. You're the best firefighter we could ever ask for. Time to hang it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's time. It's time.
It is, and he's had a good adjustment. They started a bit of a business um, between him and my sister, making Italian ices, and they're doing very well.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's a good retirement job and gives them something to do. And my sister, she's very ambitious, very entrepreneurial, and they're literally crushing it. For
Nice. It's a big Italian family.
what's that?
Big Italian family.
Yeah, very very big Italian family.
Yeah,
I
me
haven't
too.
even met all my cousins yet.
Yeah, I'm Italian too. Big Italian family.
Where are you from?
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
the toenail of the USA.
The toenail of the USA.
It's so tiny,
It
Connecticut.
is. Well, Rhode Island is smaller.
Yeah,
So that's more of a freckle of the United States.
yeah, I guess you could say a little freckle.
More of a freckle. It's
Where are
like
you
the
from?
exact same size as Staten Island.
Oh, you're over in New York?
I am. I live in Astoria, Queens.
Okay, nice. How is New York now? It's still under like lockdown and all that?
And for the most part, like things seem to be sort of like starting to relax a little bit. We're going to start having alternate side parking again, so that's not looking forward to that. 3 months of don't have to move your car was amazing. I think that just de-escalated stress in the city of New York, and there's a lot to learn from something like that. Stop stressing out the people, and everybody will get along just fine.
Yeah, all the rage on the road, people not knowing how to drive, everyone's cursing each other out.
I really like that there's only essential workers on the road. Traffic is
Oh
minimum.
yeah, it's been great. Traveling to work, it's been great for me.
And you're off of what, 95, going through Connecticut?
Yeah,
That starts right here at the Triborough Bridge for me, and takes you right onto what is that, I-95 North, or you could take it south over the GW Bridge.
yeah, I go right into New Haven.
Right, New Haven, Connecticut. And I was in Connecticut once in 2015 for a play that I went on tour in for about 5 or 6 weeks. But it all started there with a theater company in Connecticut. I think it
Where
was.
do you remember the place?
I think it wasn't in Bridgeport, but I think it was actually right there off 95 by Bridgeport, Connecticut. I'm almost confident that was it. It's not it. No.
No, not ringing a bell.
Damn. I can't believe I forgot the name of it. But it's, for 5.5 weeks, I went all around the country. So I remember in every city. New Orleans, that's the one I remember the most.
Yeah, probably the best time too.
That was a great weekend. We got lucky because our show was actually on a Friday night. So we were able to spend the entire weekend in New Orleans.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, that was a win.
So before we get too off topic, the name of the show is Cheers to You. So let's pour one.
One step ahead of
You
you.
already got one going?
Yeah, got myself a 2017 Cabernet Sauvignon, Francis Coppola.
Nice. Fancy.
Thought it was fitting for the show.
Yeah. I was going to get a new bottle, but I didn't have time since I had to cover for someone today.
Oh, that
So
was
I'm just, what happened? I got my Irishman whiskey.
the Irish. Oh, okay. Nice.
It's almost gone, so I got to grab a new bottle within the next couple episodes.
Right on, man.
So,
Cheers.
cheers to you, Phil.
Salud.
All right. Sorry. I'm blinded about my room sucks for lighting.
I mean, yeah, a little bit. No, it's all good.
Shadow going. I got the. Maybe that's a little better. Hold on.
There you go. Got some natural light in. You're glowing.
Yeah. Well, it's still light up probably for the next hour or so.
Digging the jacket.
Yeah, I mean, I just got the regular T-shirt. Might as well go fancy with the only just a blazer.
Is that from Guns N' Roses?
No, this is actually I guess, kind of vigilante I kind of created.
Oh, do tell.
Like Axel.
Hold on, do tell.
All right, so basically the story's been changing a whole lot, but I kind of narrowed it down recently because every time I would create something, I would like subconsciously remember, like, oh fuck, that reminds me of this, that. I don't want to be copied, someone like that.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, he was a cop, straight edge, but all these corrupt cops are all around. So he got kicked out, becomes a private investigator, and he gets driven out of town, so he leaves. And then his brother's wife, so I haven't decided yet, calls him saying, has been home in a couple days. He said he's been working late, but has been back and all that stuff. So he goes back, tries to find his brother. He gets taken in the process because he's not supposed to be back to, not sure where he is yet, but kind of going something like that.
So it's like Beverly Hills Cop meets Max Payne.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Kind of like a big, like, I don't know if I want to kind of make it a family thing, but kind of like a lone wolf, this guy, kind of a rough life, the dark brooding.
Is it more of a comic book?
I kind of wanted, it was kind of at first, I was kind of doing all the sketching and doing all that stuff, but it was just too much work. So I like doing the storytelling better.
Mm-hmm.
That seemed to work out. So I kept on doing that. But I took a break for that because where I am in Connecticut, it's hard to find people and doing all this kind of like acting, shooting, directing, all that stuff too. It's not really the set place to do it.
Yeah, I get it. And that's kind of what brought me to actually create the Story Filmmakers Club. Did you know anything about that?
Yeah, you brought that up in the Creative Mixer. That's actually where we met. Where I met.
Oh, with the Movers with Joe Rizzo?
No, with Freddie.
Oh, you're in the Creative Mixers online?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome, man.
Yeah, that's where I met a couple of you guys. Yeah.
Darn, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, I haven't been there in a while because I'm trying to kind of focus on this. I'm working so much lately.
Yeah, Freddie's here in New Jersey right now.
Yeah, I saw that. He's supposed to come on too. He said he would do it. I might want to try to get him and Rob together because they do kind of like projects
Yeah,
together.
yeah, yeah.
So kind of want to do duo for one of them. See what
Yeah,
happens
that would
with
be
that.
great, man.
So how did you start off with all this? So acting, I guess you would say.
I mean, act for the story of acting that goes back to 2008, because right before that, I was an iron worker here in the city of New York, and job was great, but I had injuries from working and a couple others from trying to play college football. And when I got hurt, it pretty much ended my football career and my iron workers career simultaneously. And I tried to work for a full more year, but the pain just stayed with me. So
Yeah.
I had to get a shoulder operation, and that's what led me to go to college. And I had to take an elective. And then the next thing you know, theater course was available. I was trying to be a business major at the time, and I thought it would help with public speaking, just get used to being on the stage, be like Tony Robbins in a sense, you know?
Yeah,
But
being out there, putting
yeah,
yourself out there.
but what happened was I actually did very well, because there were three musicals lined up, and when I did the first one, it was really just for fun. And since I had a shoulder operation, I had to do something to kind of keep myself out of the house and from doing absolutely nothing. And
Yeah.
it started out just as fun, but I did very well. So the creators of pretty much that one musical said, "We're doing another one next month. Can you do it?" And I said, "Why not?" Then the following month, another one. And next thing you know, I kind of got bit by the bug.
Yeah, you got that feeling. Yeah, that's how I felt a couple years ago. Like just like trying to find like what you like entertaining people's. I love it. It's a thrill.
For me, it was easy because it started out just with in front of kids, like just a bunch of kids coming to a field trip, watching a show. And it's like, it's fun. No
Yeah.
problem. Then the next one was a little bit more up because then it was like a summer theater program intensive for high school. And it's like, all right, now it's serious. So we did that one. And then I forget which one was it. No, like, and then right after that, it just got not, I wouldn't say more serious, but the following semester, they're saying keep studying. So I changed from a business major, became more liberal arts, and I focused more on like the acting 101 and the improv 101. And I did that the following semester. And that's when I really did very well because when I did the finals for that semester, I got scouted by some people in the film department, and they cast me in my first independent film.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
Was
it
that
just
was that just like a basic role? Was that a speaking role, or was this like a
they gave me the lead in that.
oh,
Yeah,
awesome?
so that short film was called Village Music, and we did that in the spring of 2009. And that's where things got really interesting because it really started out as a hobby, but the more I did it, the more it took me on the path to where I am now, because that film Village Music got accepted into the Black Bear Film Festival, and the producer of the Black Bear Film Festival approached me. He really loved the short film. He thought it was very good. He asked me what my future plans were. I said, I don't know, because football was done. I was never going to
Yeah,
play
with
again
that
at that
shoulder
point.
injury.
But he recommended this school, the New York Conservatory for the Dramatic Arts. He said, try to audition, see, and I think you could get in. And he was right because I did get accepted into the conservatory. So I studied there for a full year, and I learned about a more intensive program that was without probably probably the best school in the city of New York, the Neighborhood Playhouse. So then I applied to that school and I got in, and then I finished a full year there, and that was it. 4 whole years just went by like that.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, dude. Congratulations on that. So,
That was great.
so
Cheers.
yeah,
Definitely.
so that must have been pretty like amazing how you first shot too. You hit the home run on the first time.
Didn't feel like it, like when you hit a home run in the minor leagues, you didn't really think it was going to get you recruited into the big leagues. But if you really do focus on your craft and you could just make contact, the right coach, they could work with you. And the next thing you know, you're an
So the
MLB
school
All-Star.
definitely helped and paid off.
The Neighborhood Playhouse was it took out everything that I didn't need, that I knew about myself, that was more of like the fake side of me, that it's just like, that doesn't matter. The real you is just basically who I discovered while I was there. And it was 900 intense hours, like from 9 to 5, you were working. There was like, even on your lunch, you had to pretty much make your sandwich how you felt. You had to eat the sandwich basically how you were feeling. And I was so like, it was very strange for me because I go from an iron worker, blue collar background to adapting into this artistic entity. I don't know what I don't know how to identify myself, and I was really struggling. And all of a sudden, I made some personal discoveries about the truth, and it's that yes, I am an actor, but I'm not limited to that because I could also do one other thing. I could write, and I didn't know that because my entire life, I was in special ed English. I had such a I never got diagnosed with dyslexia or anything like that. But I did actually recently find out that I do have OCD, but it's so minor that it just created anxiety. And apparently I do have very, very ridiculously stupid high anxiety. So I'm actually in treatment for that right now. And acting for me actually just grounded me. It gave me a lot of self-confidence, and I felt a lot of self-worth through this art form. Very similar to how I felt with football, because on the field I thrived, and on the stage, it's a parallel. It's really like, if you could understand that.
Yeah, you went from completely like a jock to like taking on like acting. You got to take on whole different people's like attitude. You got to change your whole personality to that character.
That,
So you were like football. So sports was like your thing growing up and all that.
yeah. Like started out with baseball, and then I tried football. And in high school, I didn't really do very well in any of those sports anymore because I kind of hit a point where like the stress from school and like my academics were just very demoralizing. Like I had the worst. I probably had there was 170 students in my class, but I probably was the bottom 10 of the GPA. If I had to guess, like I don't think there was anybody doing worse than I could. Like my GPA was like terrible. I just couldn't do the work. The only
Yeah,
thing I could really do and do very well was art. That was like art and lunch and gym were my top 3 subjects. That was it.
same with me, man. I'm not really. It took a lot for me to like kind of like the focus really, because it's more like you said, the art, the gym is more like a physical and a creative thing for me.
Right. So I mean, it was, like I passed. I don't think I didn't. I know
Yeah,
I
me too. That's all that
like.
matters.
I think I passed high school with like a 1.6 GPA or something like that. It was low. Like I think you're supposed to pass with either like a 1.60, and I think I was a 1.67, or it was something so close to where it's just like, I honestly think they said we don't want to deal with Phil for another year, so we're just going to pass him anyway.
Yeah,
So that's kind of how I felt about it, but I got mixed feelings about high school, but at the same time, none of that matters anymore. It just really matters with like who I am today,
yeah.
because
All that
that
stuff.
that kid doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, all that stuff doesn't even feel like it's just like a lifetime ago too.
Yeah, and well, for the most part, it was. I graduated in 2005. It was 15 years ago.
Yeah, I did mine 2010, 5 years after you.
Congratulations.
Thanks, you too. Pinky up, as my stepmom would say.
I can't really do a pinky up with the wine glass.
No, you cannot.
Not really.
But you didn't try doing theater in high school?
I was embarrassed.
I
Uh,
was kind of the same way too. I
I
felt like,
really was, but I forgot about this, but I actually did help out with the stage crew and the stage hands for the plays that they were doing. And I don't regret not doing it, but I really wish I did, because the play that they were doing my senior year was Peter Pan. And I know Peter Pan top to bottom, left to right, inside out, because the first musical my parents ever brought me to when I was a kid, I remember going to my first Broadway show. I saw Peter Pan on Broadway, and I remember how Peter Pan was just flying over us at the end, and how scary but amazing the crocodile flying across that stage was going. I also remember my very first feature film that my dad brought me to, and that was Hook. So I know Peter Pan, and I kind of wish I kind of wish I did it, but at the same time, I didn't have like really a best friend in high school. There was really nobody that I didn't have like an encourage, like high school for me, sports, athletic, and all that stuff. I became a handball player because it was just me, handball, playing everybody else. I was just solo, and it's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of weird talking about it now because I don't think I don't even remember the last time I talked about that. But I did become one of the best handball players in the school only because that was my outlet at the time.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing theater. Football was done. I wasn't going to make the baseball team, but what I could do every single day, hit that ball as hard as I could. And I did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because you practice that, and then you switch over to acting. You're practicing that, and you're killing that.
Yeah, because once I make up my mind about something and I commit to something, I can do it.
Yeah, anyone could do it. They put their mind to it and focus. I mean, it's all about. Some people want to climb the ladder. They want to jump. They want to do something today. They expect results tomorrow. They don't want the process and the wait. The patience.
To that point, I actually really respect the amount of time it's taken for me to get quote unquote discovered.
Yeah.
Because I want it so bad. Like I do want to have a career and a job and the right representation, and I want to be known for my work, and I want to be perceived for who I am, and that's the work I do. But I kind of feel like to that point, the time in between it takes me to make a commitment to actually be in this industry, and the time it does take for me to get discovered, which could be years, I think it does show a reflection of your resolve and the actual commitment to how bad do you want it. And I feel like I'm being prepared to handle it more in the future, because I know I'm not going to be just an actor. I know I'm going to be in the room of executives someday. I'm going to probably write checks one day for millions of dollars. And I think that takes a certain person to really have that responsibility and that character to do that. And I kind of feel grateful right now that I'm not at that point yet, but I'm being prepared to become that man.
Yeah, exactly. I understand that completely. I mean, you got to focus, and you seem pretty driven.
No doubt about it. I truly am. Like, I know what it is I really want, and I do believe I'm on God's path. I don't know what people really believe as far as like spirituality, and like I'm not becoming an actor for myself or egotistical. Like there is parts of that did exist in the process of doing this, but it's not about me. It's really about what we leave behind, the legacy. Because
Totally.
every single actor that we've all idolized, for lack of a better word, especially the founders of like the Immortals, they all passed away. But at one point, they were in their 20s, they were in their 30s, and society did have this image of them, but that wasn't exactly who they were. But that aside, I only know who I am, and I want to be put into a place where I could actually leave something behind. It's very similar to what they've done. Maybe not a Hollywood star in a sense, but I do believe that acting, filmmaking, theater, producing, it's all coming to a point of more or less call it destiny.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. Like you said, leaving a legacy behind, creating something because you want to make, purpose of what's going. You're here for a reason, so might as well make something out of it and do something big. That's kind of why I created this guy, and other stories too. And I want to do something and create. So have you created, how many stories have you created, or shows or movies would you say, or you're just like so and so?
I don't think I've completed much of any of them. I'm sure I completed at least one, but like a couple, there were a few short plays, like maybe 7 or 8 short plays that I just wrote throughout school, and a bunch of different movies ideas, which is probably over 20, if I'm being honest. After I finished school at the neighborhood playhouse, I hit a brick wall and I was just completely burnt out because 4 years, it was very intense. And all I did was act in everything, like short films, nonstop plays. And it feels like when I looked at my resume, I was doing something either twice a month or close to it on average, just because like
Just to
within,
get your name out there.
within 48 months, I had like 70 different things that I did, like different projects. There was nothing I wasn't doing during that time. And I got burnt out. And what ended up happening was I got to a point where I was way too dependent on alcohol because there were so many things that acting was bringing out of me that I could not really cope with in a sense. So for years I drank, like all 4 years I was basically drinking the entire time. So what ended up happening was, in order for me to get sober, which I did, I was sober for over 4 years before I got married. Felt like I completed a sobriety school in a sense because I knew why I had to stop. It was really to take charge and control of my life. I thought it was alcoholism, and I've been to AA, but it wasn't. That wasn't it. I was broken on the inside, and I was trying to heal, and alcohol was just preventing that. So I'm 4 years married now, so I've been drinking again for 4 years. But during that first year, I really had to heal and get myself spiritually back to grounded to myself. So what I did do was I started writing a book, and for the most part, I finished it, and it's a novel. Basically, that sums up my last year of acting school, and it sums up basically the hero's journey of everything I needed. And I put every experience I ever went through during that 4 years into that one character, and I actually have it take place at the neighborhood playhouse. So I created a book called There Goes the Neighborhood.
Nice. Catchy.
Thank you. And but the funny thing was, to go back to what you're asking me for about writing, I just started writing titles one day about things I want to write. And this was before I even got accepted into the New York Conservatory. I even wrote down the title, There Goes the Neighborhood, and among 20 other ideas, shorts, features, plays, whatever. And I just basically wrote something based off of the title. And There Goes the Neighborhood was still available. And I just did this whole ridiculous, amazing journey at the neighborhood playhouse. And it really, in a sense, it really did heal me. But I literally had to go through hell to find heaven.
Yeah, that story is pretty inspiring.
I never brought myself to finish the last couple chapters in the book because while I was watching the show The Affair, the guy, Noah, the main character, he had to go on tour and talk about his book and things like that. That was the only thing. It's like, I am not finishing this book because I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to publish it. Yeah, make money, but I don't want to talk about it. But it's kind of funny because now I feel like I'm more or less prepared emotionally, like to really talk about certain things that I had to actually deal with, like family life, personal life, how acting is actually, it's not an escape mechanism. It's actually a platform to heal yourself. And the only way you actually the only way you could actually find out if there's anything that needs to be healed inside of you is when you actually do the work. Because there's a lot of things where you could use emotional prep to relate to a character and what they're going through, but sometimes it comes off way too negative. It's just like, you got to get to yourself to a point of crying, and all you do is focus on the pain. But if you're more pain driven, that's not really the craftsmanship of acting. That's sort of like, that's just not it. Like, that could be a little bit of like an emotional memory where you could relate to, a past memory, but that's non-sustainable because you can't dwell on something for too long. There's got to be a through line that actually brings you to the other side of that coin. And the only way to actually really be, I guess, more or less free from your past is actually by going through it and dealing with it. And yeah, you can find the joy through that and actually create a character or personalize that through line. But that's the only way you're actually going to be able to have full control over your prep instead of having your past control you.
Yeah, well, now you're tough as nails, aren't you? From all the hell you had to go through.
I mean, in certain areas, but I'm still learning. Like the one thing I learned is that it takes 20 years to become an actor. And for me, I feel like this is something I could do for the rest of my life. And I think one day, like I'm really going to be challenged with the craftsmanship of acting. And I do kind of feel like I lost a lot of skills because I haven't done it in so long. Not really, not really, you know, like you could still, like, if you're a baseball player, you could still throw, but you don't really quite have that edge in a sense, you know? And
Yeah.
I feel like some time in between has kind of taken away from sort of like that tenacity that I had, you know?
Yeah. What would you say you've been on a couple of film, what have you done? You done TV and film?
Yeah. My one break that I got through with TV was that I had a line on The Affair, became a co-star with that credit, and then SAG eligible, I think that on that day. Just played an orderly, a doctor's assistant, bringing a sick kid on a gurney. So I did that on The Affair, and for a feature film, my big break was probably with Good Time with the Safdie brothers in 2016.
Okay. And you've also, I saw this, you were also on, I just had it written down too.
Oh, take it. Yeah. That's why you need a producer in your ear.
Yeah. Or index cards.
Or index cards.
Index cards going down. Well, you were in the one with Pattinson.
That was Good Time. That was my feature film break. If I could even refer to that movie as a big break, but it was closer to a break than not.
Hey, you got to arrest him.
I did. It was, yeah, that role was pure luck.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the pitch. I was like, and I went back to watch the movie again. I was like, son of a bitch, that is him.
Yeah. So yeah, I got very lucky, and that was a great experience. Not gonna lie, that was like one of the last background jobs, acting jobs that I did for cinema.
Yeah. And now when your kids ask you, be like, yeah, I arrested Batman.
I did. Oh my God. That's right. No, it's funny. One of my friends, Jim Galazia, he actually referenced that exact same thing, that he's the host of the Astoria Filmmakers Club podcast, and he mentioned that exact same thing. Like people are going to refer to that scene one day, and they're going to see that was you who arrested him. I'm just like, well, if an agent's watching this, yeah, I was that guy, and I'm available for hires. So I mean,
guarantee that picture will resurface when the film gets made out of like a meme or something of him being Bruce Wayne and you arrested him.
And yes, that so I mean, like everything, like that's what I mean, like everything kind of happens for a reason and comes full circle. But that job was originally just a background job, but the guy who was supposed to actually arrest Robert Pattinson that day, he was a no-show. And Benny Safdie, one of the Safdie brothers, he basically said, what about Phil? So I got a shot, and the rest is history.
You know what? That'd be a good idea for if you decide to write again for a book or a show. What about Phil?
What about Phil? Like, yeah, we did What About Bob?
What about, and also reference to you were also on Gotham too?
Yeah, and all of that. Yeah, that was a couple background jobs. I never really got an opportunity to ever play a character on TV other than The Affair. The only way I was actually able to make money from 2013, well, more 2014, but all of 2015, it was basically a solid 2 years of like, just be a background actor, be a part of it, kind of get involved, don't stop. and I could not work. I was still healing, like I was telling you about.
Yeah.
There was no job I could hold that could really just keep me focused and like grounded. I was really broken, but I had to be around it and I had to be a part of it. And I really wanted to learn. And I thought background acting was a great opportunity for me to just learn how movies are made. And I
Yeah.
did. I learned a lot. You get to know the PAs. You get to meet everybody, and your network expands because everybody who more or less is a background actor, they really want to be actors in movies and TV. They're trying to find a way. And I was in the same exact boat.
Yeah, that's a good way to communicate through everyone on set because everyone's trying to put their name out there. They're gonna be like, "What about Phil?"
So yeah, I mean, like you got people who ever sign somebody. The way I kind of felt now, it's like if somebody would actually do something as uh, people who do background acting, they really do get a bad rep for in the industry for like they're not to be taken seriously. If they ever do stand-in work, they're just actors who just never quite made it. So why would you ever accept a job like that? I'm like, what, dude? How could you even say something like that? Like that is a horrible outlook. And I forget like which actor actually said that. I think it was Alan something. Uh, he was in a couple movies. He was in Fargo, the old timer in Fargo. I read his audiobook or listened to his audiobook. And he had a lot. He didn't have anything positive to say about stand-ins or background actors or anything like that. And I did get jaded by a producer from Michigan once because he looked at my IMDb account and he saw that I did background acting, and he just said he'll never work with me. I'm like, but why? And because like there's no way we could ever market you because you're just a guy from the background. And I'm like,
It's a little rude.
hold on. So I just dedicated 4 years of some of the best acting education on the planet, and the manner in which I choose just to pay my rent, that's what. So I couldn't even comprehend, being jaded like that. It really sucked. And you know what? That guy's movie sucked anyway. So, forget that guy.
Yeah. Well, good thing you didn't waste your time then.
He was from Michigan.
It
I'm
sucked.
not driving to Michigan. Come on, dude. But
Ooh,
how could you say something like that?
yeah. Deal with that cold. His
No.
cold and the weather.
So you know what? It's just like it is what it is. And if it is my destiny to become an Oscar-winning actor, he's not going to stop me. You know.
Yeah. I mean, are you working on anything now?
The TV episode. I'm trying to write my own work. I'm doing a pre 9/11 FDNY series.
Oh yeah. So who would you try and present that to, like private networks or?
I mean, the club and I, we've kind of discussed it, and there's a couple different things. This could be something that HBO would want to potentially grab, because it is very unique, and it's based on a book called Coming Through the Flames by Chris Edwards. He worked with my dad before 9/11, and I basically have all the rights to make the movie, but we decided to expand on that and just create a TV series instead. And there's a lot of cursing in it because like it's 1990s New York City. It's real. We're not underplaying that whole universe. We're not. And this is something I think HBO would want to pick up. But if not, I do believe the Astoria Filmmakers Club could just make it ourselves. I think we could raise the money and we could make it.
Yeah, I hope the language won't be an issue with all that.
I mean, like I can't. No, I don't want to change. I don't want to change the universe because some people don't have thick skin, and this is the reality of that universe. And I mean, come on. We have feature films like Transformers where we're having these little robots being goofy, calling people pussy and stuff like that. So if we could do that in a movie, what if I say the word fuck and it happens to be a guy from New York City? Are you really going to jump down my throat about it?
It shouldn't. I mean, HBO too, and plus, like you said, they're saying all those words, and kids are watching that.
kids are watching that. And come on, like, and that came out what, 10 years ago, and now all of them probably graduated high school this year. So it's like, come on.
Yeah, well, that franchise was another freaking bust too.
Yeah, so I mean, it is what it is. I mean, but hey, made a lot of actors a lot of money.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot too. You just reminded me. You were also Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too, weren't you?
Oh my God, yeah. I
Oh,
was
shit when I saw that.
yeah, one of my it's fun, one of my pictures actually just popped up saying you were in this like 3 or 4 years ago on Instagram, and I was actually I played a sailor in the Halloween parade scene, and we shot that scene down in the where did we shoot not all the way down in the village, but it was downtown Manhattan. That was another thing about being a background actor. You get to see the entire city. You know, you really get to explore, and you get to take in all of New York City
Yeah,
everywhere
you get
on
to meet
set.
people too, and you get good connections too. That way, being a background.
You do. Your network really does. It booms, and you keep in touch, of course, thanks to Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook, dude, the whole social media will get you just about connections to anything and anywhere and everybody.
Thank God. Can't do it alone.
Mm-mm. Tom tried, but he failed.
Yeah.
MySpace.
Well, that one,
Oh,
what I heard that they wanted to just be more about music anyway and represent
really?
bands. That's what I heard. And MySpace was just like it was sort of like a proof of concept of social networking. And you ever see The Network, like with Aaron Sorkin?
Yep.
Social Network, I think it was.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Eisenberg, Jesse Eisenberg, and Garfield.
Yep, I thought that was great, and
Yeah, it was.
that came out a little over 10 years ago now.
And then that. What else was in it? I'm trying to think. Oh, Timberlake was in it too. That was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, he created was it he didn't create Napster, right? He created something else, something like another tech guy, entrepreneur guy in that show in that movie.
Yeah. I forgot his role, but there was also I saw this online. Hold on. I was like when I saw this, I was like, this dude's looking all cyborg or like I don't know what that is.
Oh dude, when I tell you that I was broken, yeah, that was a steampunk photo shoot. Yeah, that was one of the Guardians of Pandora. We did a steampunk photo shoot with the Hudson Valley Click in Middletown, Goshen, New York, up in Orange County where I grew up. And during that time, like literally, like I was so broken, I had to get myself out there. I couldn't act anymore. I had to stay sober, so I tried modeling, and I actually started making money modeling. Like there was a time where I made more money by being a model than anything I've ever done doing any kind of acting up until that point. So I did that for about a year and a half.
Nice. You're definitely exploring all elements of like acting, writing, modeling. I mean, you could still probably do modeling down the line just for a little extra cash. Be like, honey, I gotta go to work.
So, like, yeah, because some of the best work I've done was always being in weddings. I was always a groom. Like I got married 13, 14 times before I met my wife.
Well, hopefully, you guys are happily married and it lasts a long time.
Yeah, as long as the Backstreet Boys keep having concerts, we're gonna have a very long, fruitful marriage. Of
I mean, they might have what's called another reunion tour, maybe or something like that. Who knows?
course, they will. I mean, these guys have been killing it for over 20 years.
They have. I mean, I just heard one of their songs on the radio the other day.
I gotta admit, I really got it. My wife took us for her birthday last year. The year before last. We went to Las Vegas to actually see the Backstreet Boys perform.
Vegas.
I've never been to Vegas, and
Me
we did an
neither.
intensive like 2 day tour of Vegas, and we went there to see the Backstreet Boys. And I gotta admit, here, like, I heard them growing up throughout the '90s and all of high school. Never liked them. Not liked them, but when I heard them live, and these guys absolutely fucking crushed it. And just from like appreciating, like acting, rehearsing, performing, singing, these guys have put so much work into like to what they're known as today. And I'm just like, God bless these guys, because they're doing it for over almost 30 years now. They're, and I got to hang out with Kevin at a VIP party. We met, we shook hands, we talked. It was he's on my top 10 pictures on my Facebook page. I like, and Kevin, he's such a cool dude. He's such a great guy.
Yeah, and that's like you said before, like you see when you're an actor or a musician or something like that, you it's rare in how much time they spend to like create a song or adapt to a person, like acting, like adapting to that character, like you're writing out your heart out in a song or whatever you're doing.
Hmm.
It's just like it's like a whole totally different picture. You have more respect for that person, and the time and the power of what they have up here.
He's a person, and I never really appreciated the humanity of celebrities before. Like, I kind of like, when you're just like a normal person and you're an iron worker, you're just building New York City, and then you just have this perception of Hollywood and like millions of dollars and all that stuff. And that's why I really enjoy being an actor right now, because it really changed my perception on everything, on just the process it takes to become where they are. And I kind of feel like the term celebrity sort of like takes away the humanitarian aspect of a person and a human being. And I think that's just media, and that's unfortunate. And you never really know anybody until you just start walking in their own shoes. But yeah, like really just thanks to this whole process, I really have a lot of respect for these men and these women in the field, because they put the time in, and it's not easy. It's really
It's
not.
years, decades.
Their whole life went into this, and I think unfortunately everybody could be a little prejudiced and quick to judge, where it's just like you see the results. But to go back to what you said, people are not really willing to go through the process,
Yeah, they just want to jump the ladder.
And you can't do that. There's no shortcuts, because let's say, just hypothetically, if you do win the lottery or something, you get your big break. Can you handle it? Can you appreciate it? Can you respect it? Are you sustainable? Maybe
Yeah,
not.
because you're going to have to spend all your time. That's 100%. That is what you're doing for the next, who knows, months.
As long as you can handle it.
Yeah.
And until you quit, because I think that's what really comes down to. Your opportunity is going to come as long as you don't quit.
Well, you seem to proven that you won't quit. So, questions for no quitters, Phil. So, you had your $1 million chance. Who would you want to work with or want to work for?
In a movie?
Yeah.
Ooh. I thought about this a lot, and you didn't ask me this before now, but this has crossed my mind a bunch of times. But and I don't care who's watching, but the truth is, I really love Josh Brolin. I would really, I really would, actor to actor, want to work with him.
Yeah.
I really would, because this is I really see how he's gone from not even living in his father's shadow, but really holding his own, doing these kind of like silly projects, but all now, as of lately, like as soon as he did, what's a good example? That's a bad example. Now, before MIB, he did this. I think it's not Country Where Art Thou. I'm thinking of the movie. Right after W, he did a cowboy movie, and it's slipping my tongue, with Woody Harrelson and Tommy Lee Jones, and I'm gonna look it up because this is where like watching him perform in this was just amazing. Damn, I hate Dead. This is why we need a producer.
Hey, maybe one day, who knows?
Well, you know we played Thanos, right, in Avengers?
Yeah, he did that, and he was the fuck was the other one? He was in Deadpool.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. Like I thought that was good. Wait,
Yeah, he did a good job on that one.
it says right here he was in A League of Their Own. No, that can't be right. No, that's Free Movies. No, that's not right. Hold on. Josh Brolin, all filmography. No Country for Old Men. That's what I was thinking. So I watched him perform that, No Country for Old Men. He barely had like maybe 15, 20 lines. It was all action and activity.
Yeah.
And that's where he really caught my eye because I grew up watching The Goonies. I'm like, oh, that's Brad from The Goonies. But right around that time, I was really getting into acting. And there was, once that movie came out and I started watching with all my friends, everybody was just like, they can't stop talking about it. I'm like, that's just Brad from The Goonies. But when I actually got to just watch what he was doing and how he actually put his his actions spoke louder than his words, that's when people were like, even my teachers were explaining, that's acting. Acting isn't like about the monologue. It's really about the action and the activity and the doing. So that's when I really started paying attention to actors. And what I've seen him do in the last 10 years is just like, this guy's incredible. You
So
know?
would you say that he's the one that kind of inspired you?
Maybe
In a way, almost.
I can say yes to that. Before Josh Brolin, there was Walter Matthau, Cary Grant, and Jack Lemmon. Like these were just, I just loved everything to do with movies because of these guys. They were just fun. They were just fun actors to watch. Now, as an actor and watching another actor, yes, I can say that it's a tie between Josh Brolin and Matthew McConaughey.
All right, all right.
Exactly. I would work with those guys if I mean, I can't even imagine getting the opportunity to just be in the same room with those guys, but just maybe talk because I really do. I want to learn, and I know I could only learn at this point with people who are so much better than me. You know, I want to be the worst actor in the room compared to everybody else, and I know that if I ever got into the room with those guys, I would absorb everything like a sponge. I would not take a single second for granted.
Can't, not with that.
No
Would
way.
you well, yeah, well, I guess you would say, would you say that would be kind of a tie then, McConaughey and Brolin?
Uh, I wouldn't say no. If somebody say, "Hey, do you want to be in a movie with one of these guys?" Sure. Am I their bartender? Yeah, I could do that.
Or a movie with both of them too?
You know, I can't even imagine those two in the same room. Like, what kind of movie would that even be? You know, like, are
It
they
would
two?
have to be something pretty classy, probably with like a mob.
Two lawyers going at it against each other and like me, I'm the defendant? No, that's stupid. No, never mind. Yes, I killed him, Your Honor. Yeah, he did it. All right. That was easy. Okay. I don't know. Like, it's just like if you were to take, I always wonder, like, how do writers write? Do you take two actors and just try to imagine what would happen between the two of them? And there you go. You make a movie out of that.
Maybe some people probably work that way.
Like Robert Downey Jr. and The Judge. Did you ever see that?
I have not.
Yeah, that was with Robert Downey Jr. and I think it's Robert Duvall.
I'll make a note to watch that. I've been binge watching Ozark recently.
Great. Yeah, that's a great series too. And you ever get frustrated? Like, you ever want to be an actor and see like where you could actually fit in something that was being made? I
Yeah.
don't like my thing is it's just like, and it's unfortunate, but in the last 10 years, there was nothing really. I mean, I always knew I could have done that acting job. I could have done that. I'm doing background jobs where it's just like I could have done that. but it's like everything that I really appreciate and enjoyed and all the really good shows that I really watch and I enjoy, I don't think I don't belong there, you know? You ever feel that way?
I mean, maybe kind of the opposite. I mean, when I when I watch a show, I'm like, I don't know. I could kind of picture myself doing it because the shows I watch are kind of like more aggressive in action. Like, have you ever you saw Ozark, right?
Yeah, and just finished the fourth season three. Season three. They're
Yeah,
going.
I'm on season two, and I feel like his whole persona, like his attitude, his whole like calmness, like that's how I feel like I am. Like it would take a lot to piss me off. I'm like really calm, really mellow kind of dude. Like
He is a silent actor. You know, he's a still actor, very still in
yeah,
what he does.
especially with the first scene of him watching the video on his laptop, not flipping out, just sitting there like,
Oh, with him and his wife.
yeah.
Oh yeah, just like okay, how am I going to deal with this? Okay,
But, yeah, another one is absolutely freaking love is Supernatural.
don't know it. What's that one?
It's about these two brothers. It's basically a sci-fi movie about they grew up monster hunting. Their mother gets killed.
Oh, wait a minute. I know, like those two brothers.
Yeah, the hunting
Yeah, and
brothers.
they're hunting demons and stuff.
Yeah,
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
like you might like that story too because it's kind of biblical with all the angels, demons, and it goes as the show gets on because it's on its 15 and final season. God makes more of an appearance in it. Well, the character of God, but it's like the way they have it. It's just like it's an interesting story. So
Okay.
I'm pretty. I'm eager to see how they're gonna end it this year.
Hmm. All
But
righty.
yeah,
15 seasons, you said?
yeah,
15.
15.
Wow. So
Yeah.
is it like 15 years or like 9 years where they just kind of do it back to back?
I think it's just been 15 years.
Wow. It's been
I
going
think
on that long?
I think. Well, I don't know. That's a good point. I know it's 15 seasons, but the years. I think it's. I think they started. Don't quote me. I might look it up. I think they started in 2005.
15. Jeez. Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, like those two actors, Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki.
They're rich. They are so rich. If you're doing TV for 15 years, you are really rich.
Let's see,
People like that stuff.
2006. I think it's 2006. So yeah, 2006 started. 2005. Let's say 2005, 2006.
Wow. Jeez. Did they ever win like what do you call it? An Emmy award for that show or anything like that? Like ensemble, longest running show or something like that?
I think they did win a couple awards recently over the years. Not too sure which ones though.
Mm-hmm.
But what's your couple of favorite your shows and movies?
Well, before the ending of Game of Thrones, it was definitely the Game of Thrones. Like that was
Yeah,
that
that was a
I loved it. I really did. Now I don't. But other TV shows, I love the like. I don't care what anybody says. I love Marvel's Avengers with Walt, like Disney World, like everything that they're doing with those movies. I love them. Really turned me on to comics. Um, it's pretty much it. Before that, now I'm just honestly, I'm not really a fan of anything anymore. Game of Thrones was like the thing I was like always talking about. It even inspired me to write a little like fan film parallel with the Game of Thrones series.
You ever watch The Last Kingdom? It's on Netflix.
Oh, I've
Yeah,
seen. I saw a trailer for it. I just
I think that kind
yeah,
of reminds me of it.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah. So if you're interested in that, that might be something you might watch. I think that might be. I think that's better because the
Really?
ending absolutely sucked for Game of Thrones.
Well, I mean, it wasn't. I don't think it was honest. I think they were just trying to cut the TV series and just move on. And
Yeah,
I really don't believe that's how the books are going to end.
we'll see.
I mean,
Yeah, but no, I understand. It probably won't. It's gonna be probably. It'll probably be like 10 times better.
we'll see. And there, do you know anything about the prequel or the spin-offs that they decide to go with after that?
Uh, I haven't heard anything recently. I've been trying to look online for other like spin-off shows that are kind of happening for like auditions and stuff too.
Okay.
So I've been trying, but not spin-off shows. From what I hear, a lot of them are like kind of putting that like they're not happening anymore. Like there was one for Supernatural, but that's not happening anymore. So I don't know what they're gonna do with I mean HBO. Uh, I think they're gonna have a Green Lantern Corps
Green
spin-off.
Lantern Corpse.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do a Corps TV show with because at the end of Arrow on the CW,
Uh-huh.
uh, John Diggle gets a lantern ring. So I think
Oh,
it's gonna orchestrate into that.
gotcha.
But yeah, I'm a comic book guy too.
I think Axel's you're going to be your big break, man. I think like producing, directing, writing, like who knows? You'll probably create this whole character based on Axel, and it's just like we're going to love cops again because this is like the best cop there is.
I just need to find someone rich that'll fund me the money for all of it.
Honestly, I think if it's like a cop who kills dirty cops while killing the mob, and it's like the cops know it's the mob doing it and the mob knows it's the cops doing it, but it's really the guy in between setting orchestrating all of like these sort of like justified killings where the
Yeah,
hero was actually the bad guy to both universes or both guys.
yeah,
And then all of a sudden maybe it's a war where it's a vigilante now where the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and that's where the cops and the mafia unite to try to kill this guy.
I like the odds on my half on that one. I'll take it.
Well, I'm just looking at your bandana and I see where it kind of meets in the middle. It's like you got the red, the white, but it's kind of mixed in. It's just like
Yeah,
right up there, but the white is the guys in blue and the black is the mob, and it's just like, all right. So Axel, yeah, he's where the rubber meets the road, dude.
I like it. I like it a
He's the
lot.
guy. He's the guy that's actually orchestrating all the deaths, playing both sides. Maybe he's an undercover cop playing both of them. It's just like, hey, I killed the cop, I killed the bad guy, and he's telling the truth to both sides, so nobody suspects him.
Well, I'm definitely, dude. That's pretty interesting. So I might have to change the story a little bit now. Well, that's a good thing because I'm always writing too about it. So it always changes. It always becomes better because it's always my mind's always working on it. So, but now that I know you're a comic guy, would you say Marvel or DC?
I was just looking at a poster. I don't like the DC movies. I gotta just say it wasn't. I mean, there's a lot of things about it that's great, but for some reason, maybe the story just wasn't really quite there. The execution and the acting just wasn't. The chemistry wasn't really there cinematically. I thought the casting on both sides is excellent. Like it's not gonna like. I didn't have anything bad to say about that. I just it's tough because all of X-Men is all DC, right?
Well, X-Men is Marvel.
Now it is like because like before that though, wasn't it all DC? Like in the early 2000s, like DC owned it.
I don't think so. I think it was.
Yeah,
It might have been Sony.
Sony. So it was still Marvel Universe the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, to answer your point, like I'm more Marvel just because I feel like I have more of those like attributes, like as me, Phil, the person who actually could really connect and relate to all those characters. Whereas, I don't know, the DC universe, there's nobody, not even Batman. Like this is just, I don't even relate to him, you know?
He's more of a well. There's some light to DC, but it's kind of a dark, brooding universe. You know, because the way they set it up with the Justice League film, that's going to get redone. Thank God, because the director had to step away. The original director had to step away because of a family issue with his daughter. So Josh Whedon, the one that did Age of Ultron, stepped in.
That was actually like I think Age of Ultron was actually like before Winter Soldier came out. That was the #1 rated Marvel movie up until like Winter Soldier came out. And then after that, it just kept better and better and better.
Yeah, they kept escalating with the movies. I mean, Marvel did have a better storyline. DC definitely rushed it. They should have had solo movies and then leading up to like the Justice League, but it's different. I feel like with the stories because Marvel doesn't have a TV series and DC does. You know what I mean? Like they have the Flash, Arrow, Legends, Swamp Thing, Titans, and all these other shows. I
Right,
think
right,
that,
right.
I think all those stories make up for it.
Like the
Because
cartoons growing up. I remember watching those.
yeah, all dude, the cartoons were great growing up, the Justice League and stuff.
Those are awesome.
But wrapping up, let's see, pretty much nailed everything here. I mean, oh, there was one thing I saw online that was pretty interesting. I was gonna bring up earlier. You were once a was it puppeteer?
Yeah, man. Back in 2009, I did an internship with Bill Diamond Productions, and good story about Bill Diamond. He's got a studio up in Cornwall, so it was my first internship. Found it because this is why I kind of think like acting was always my path. So my mom buys a brand new refrigerator from Best Buy, and the guy who delivers it is a actor, puppeteer, and I don't know how, but we just started talking, and he tells me about Bill Diamond Productions, and that guy's name was Alex. So what ended up happening was he told me to go check it out, the studio, and that was my last year at Orange County Community College, right before I got accepted into the New York Conservatory. One of my finals was actually puppeteering and acting. Like I did everything to do with acting, and I ended up writing a full feature film, musical, like an original Muppet series, and I was able to show it basically to those guys. And I actually have right now completed. I guess I can answer that is a puppet musical for all ages, and that just I don't know, just kind of happened.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was pretty random and pretty interesting too.
I I just I never say no, and I don't think anybody should because you don't know what you don't know yet, and there's
Yeah,
certain things where one little educational tool in anything to do with the arts could actually influence any other part of your craftsmanship because everything it is interconnected.
yeah. I mean, look, people shouldn't close doors. You should open and like explore. You have to navigate your way to figure out what you're gonna do. You might try something, be like, "Oh, I like this better than what you originally planned." You never know.
You never know. But yeah, that's a story kind of sitting on the shelf, ready to go. If anybody wants to see a puppet show or anything
You
like
got it
that,
ready to go.
it's ready to go. But it's all like Muppet style, Sesame Street style. There's no marionettes or anything like that. These are very large puppets for the stage or for the screen. And I met so many people, like Jim Henson's Emmy-winning director. I believe his name was Jim. Oh God, Jim Sparks, I think it was, but it was another Jim. And I met him through one of my mentors, Nino Novelino, and they want to help me do it. But if you really want to do a puppet show and do it right, you need like $1 million budget because
Yeah,
it could really look beautiful. And I would prefer that. Like I wouldn't want to just do it to do it, although I would love to do it just to do it. But this is something like if you want to leave a legacy behind, why don't you really focus on what it actually like the genre, what it stands for, the artistic element, and do it right.
totally understand.
So yeah, I need $1 million, and we'll be able to do one hell of a show.
Hey man, I got you with the first million.
It'll come. It'll come.
Well, I just want to thank you for coming on, being my first guest here.
It was an awesome show, man. Great idea.
No problem. Thanks. And so I will probably see you. Yep.
Cheers
I
to
will
you.
see you in the Creative Mixer soon, probably within the next couple weeks.
See you on Thursday
Yeah. Well,
if you can, if you can make it.
I might. Yeah, I might have to do another interview. I'm not too sure yet. Still waiting for a couple of responses, but hopefully you'll come back on one day.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe I'll have a bigger break one of these days after this.
Yeah. No. What's it? You will, Phil. Let's hear some stories, Phil. Some new stories.
I got plenty of stories, man. A lot of stories.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, buddy.
Any closing remarks? Any way to end the show?
No, I haven't really thought about that. I was just, give us a follow. Give me a follow. Cheers, you. Give Phil a follow. I'll post his tagline on here. Tag him in it, and then we'll have him back one day.
Got to have you on our podcast.
Yeah, I'll give I don't know if I follow. I'll follow the. Is it your account, or is there another account?
You could always follow me, Phil Capadora. It's very easy to find. There's only one of me,
Okay.
not counting my dad. And you could follow the Astoria Filmmakers Club. It's a nonprofit in Astoria, Queens, for filmmakers.
Yeah, I'll check that out when later today. We'll look it up. I'll listen to a couple episodes.
Yeah, we just actually did our 10th episode today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Hey,
like
congratulations on that, buddy.
I can't believe I'm so happy that Jim and Victoria, they're so passionate. They love film, and they are so well educated. They could talk about movies all day. And the concept is we talk about our day player, the guests of the show, their favorite film, what they're doing. They really invest themselves into what the day player has done, their work, and also the film that they love. And then they do a full show about it.
Yeah, they sound pretty much like workaholics.
It's quarantine, and we got nothing but
Yeah.
time.
I mean, it's almost over.
They're really doing it, and they're doing such a fantastic job. I cannot thank them enough.
Yeah, I gotta find some people like that.
Hope you didn't hear that.
What's the blender?
Oh, you heard the blender.
I heard the blender. I saw the cat earlier. I saw it. I saw.
Thank you. That won't matter. We're gonna wrap up. All right.
I heard the blender. I saw the cat earlier. It's all in there.
4 years. 4 years. One of these days, Alice. One of these days.
Is her name Alice?
No, her name's Claudia.
Okay. Claudia. When I heard the name Claudia, the character on Grounded for Life, the mom, Claudia Finnerty. You ever watch that show?
No.
It's on Amazon Prime. I think it's early 2000s. It's this pretty funny comedy. The guy the guy that played Harvey Bullock in Gotham?
Okay. Yeah.
He's the main one of the main characters. He's the dad in it. He's fucking hilarious.
Now, all right. So you got to show me the IMDb link or something, and then I'll prime it.
All right. Yeah. I'll give you a follow on that page, and I'll send you the link on that.
Namaste. Thank you so much.
No problem, brother.
Well, here's to Axel. I really hope it does well. I really think you got a winner there. Keep that imagination going.
Thanks. I hope your good fortune comes your way too, brother.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to you, brother.
And fix it in post.